Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Greg here, and we got a very special episode for you today. Summer's coming up, and naturally people are going to want to be able to go out, enjoy patio drinks, or go to bars and socialize and have fun. And so a common question that we get is, can you drink alcohol while getting lean, dropping fat, building muscle, and getting in great shape? How does that work? And so that's what we're going to be talking about on this episode. I'm here with my man, Radu. What's going on, dude? How are you?
It's going great, man. Thanks for having me again.
My pleasure. I'm happy for you to be here. So let's kind of jump in this and let's talk about alcohol. And so actually, the first kind of thing I want to say is that I actually believe that it's important to when you're on a fitness journey, I think it's important to have fun, to live your life, to go out, to chill with friends, and to socialize, and maybe even have those few drinks. What are your thoughts?
Besides the main point of getting fit is actually to socialize, to go out and enjoy your life even more. I think.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, I know that's a great point. You get goal hijacked. You forget, like, why am I doing this? The point of building a great body, this is what I talk about in KinoBody, is to enrich your life, to be healthier, to have more energy, to look better, leaner, be more attractive, be stronger, more confident. That's all to enrich your life. But if you're letting your life fall behind you just so you can be as shredded as possible, then you defeats the purpose. But like a lot of times people will like go on magazines or read articles, and they'll have this fear, because they'll read stuff that says, hey, if you drink alcohol, like, you can't build muscle. And let's just say a bunch of BS facts. And so they're like, wait a second. And even if they gained muscle drinking alcohol before, they're like, wait a second, I'm sabotaging my gains every time I drink. I can't drink. It's either I have to choose between being an intense lifter or partying on the weekends. And like, that's a horrible position to be in, because seriously, like, it's fun to just be able to let go, have a couple drinks, go out, hang around your friends, meet people. I mean, it's an awesome experience. You shouldn't have to put that on hold, you know? So we're going to go through the main facts of drinking. And so the first one is that the only way to gain fat while drinking alcohol is to be in a calorie surplus. So if you're interested in leaning down and getting, like, really chiseled, well, alcohol will not impair fat loss as long as you're in a deficit. So if you're in a calorie deficit, meaning less calories in your body's burning, then you will lose fat. And in fact, there's actually no way in which you can store alcohol calories as fat, because ethanol can be converted to fat tissue. If you take into account the alcohol you're drinking, you'll be fine. So just by having a sip of alcohol or having a few beers, you're not going to start storing fat unless you're already in a surplus. Now, what's the second fact, Radu?
So a moderate intake of alcohol may increase testosterone in men. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so actually a lot of people have been told, like, drinking alcohol will kill testosterone. And it's true if you drink a ton of alcohol, but actually a lot of research has shown that a low dose of alcohol, approximately 4 to 5 drinks for an average 180-pound male, actually leads to a small increase in testosterone. If you guys want to check out the entire article and check out the links to the different PubMed studies, then go to kinobody.com/drinks. But what's number 3, Radu?
Okay, so actually we talked about this. Fact number 3 is alcohol calories are not as fattening as one would think. Basically, as Greg said, alcohol cannot be converted directly into fat, but it stops fat burning and carbohydrate burning, and that way leads to fat gain indirectly.
Yeah, that's correct. And a lot of studies have shown that if you replace the calories from like carbs or fats with calories from alcohol, you'll actually lose weight. So there's some debate on whether or not alcohol calories even count, because for that reason, it seems like they don't. So then you take out 400 calories of fat and replace it with 400 calories of alcohol, it puts you in a deficit somehow. So let's get to fact number 4.
Okay, so moderate drinking is not unhealthy.
Yeah, that's right. So actually, a lot of research shows that moderate drinkers to light drinkers outlive non-drinkers, and moderate alcohol consumption improves insulin sensitivity, allowing you to better handle carbs. So I mean, there's those benefits which are pretty profound, and also alcohol consumption, like the moderate dose is key, not heavy drinking. Heavy drinking is not good for you, but like light to moderate drinking actually helps protect against type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, and depression. So yeah, I mean, when people are like telling you like alcohol is horrible for you, it's bad for you shouldn't drink it. I mean, if you don't like alcohol, by all means, don't drink it. But if you enjoy alcohol and you can drink it, you know, in moderation, there's actually really nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I didn't know that it could actually have health benefits, alcohol. I'm also learning that now.
Yeah, no, the research is pretty clear on this. Light to moderate drinkers outlive non-drinkers. So that's like a correlation. So they find that when they look at all the heavy drinkers, all the moderate drinkers, and the non-drinkers, well, sure, the heavy drinkers probably don't live the longest, but then it would be the moderate drinkers that outlive the non-drinkers. So it's a correlation, but you know, there's something there.
So, fact number 5 would be moderate drinking does not impair muscle gains, and we already touched on this. I guess when we were younger, we both drank much more than we do now, and we had no problem building muscle. When I first started working out, I was in the 11th grade in high school, and at that time everybody was having their how do you call the special part you have when you reach the adult age?
The prom or
no?
The special party?
You know, you can drive after that point. You can drink alcohol legally. And
we don't have a party for that.
you don't?
No.
Yeah, we call them majorat. So basically, you know, you reach the adult age and you celebrate that with a big party. And anyway, everybody was having these amazing birthday parties, and we drank a lot of alcohol almost every weekend. And during that time, I was also working out. I was building muscle. I was getting leaner sometimes, and alcohol did not prevent any of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you knew firsthand from personal experience that alcohol didn't stop you from building muscle and to achieving your goals, which is great. But then also the research shows that moderate alcohol consumption does not impair overload-induced muscle hypertrophy and protein synthesis. So the adaptations that you make when you do an intense workout actually are not at all impaired from moderate drinking. Though if you're drinking heavily and getting hammered drunk, that will have negative effects. But if moderate consumption, it's not an issue at all. And so the last point I want to talk about was basically about the moderate drinking. Like after 4 or 5 drinks, that's when you start to get the negative effects of alcohol. So when you're at that moderate intake, there's a lot of benefits there. You feel mild euphoria, a sense of well-being, relaxation, joyousness, and talkativeness. This is what we experience when we drink. As well, drinking in moderation is effective at reducing stress, tension, depression, and feelings of self-consciousness. You know this if you think back to the last time you drank and you felt relieved and you just felt kind of carefree and all the thoughts that you had going on in your head kind of seem to subside. As well, low-dose alcohol has been found to improve certain types of cognitive performance, including problem-solving and short-term memory. Now, that said, when you take things to the extreme and you start to drink more and more and more, that's when you get negatives. Lack of coordination, slurred speech, a little bit too much, like a little kind of just loss of judgment and all that stuff that we know with alcohol. So I mean, the one point I want to leave you with is if you want if you want alcohol to fit in your life and work synergistically, you have to learn how to drink in moderation. You know, go out 1, 2, or 3 times a week max, and then have 3 drinks or 4 drinks and stop there.
I've had about 3 ciders because I'm feeling fabulous.
Because there's approaches where people talk about literally, like, drink as much as you want, and that day, just eat protein and veggies, don't eat any fat, don't eat any carbs, and you won't store fat, because protein is very hard to convert to body fat, and alcohol is very hard to convert to body fat. So if you're not taking in any carbs or fats, you won't gain fat. Has anyone tried that approach? It is brutal. It is absolutely brutal. Literally just eating chicken breast, egg whites, and broccoli all day. I don't know about you guys, but if I don't get any fats and carbs in, My mood is crap. My like I can physiologically feel my testosterone go down, and I feel awful. My mood is it's just it's not fun. I want to eat. I'm like shit. Like I need satisfaction. I can't just eat straight protein and veggies all day. I need some fat in there. I need a little bit of carbs in there, and so and that approach just kind of invites just the binge drinking mentality. Drink as much as you want. Don't have any fats and carbs, and you won't store fat. So my approach is different. Let's have an awesome day. Let's enjoy food. Let's enjoy drinks, but let's also support a great body, and let's also learn to become more present and not tied to alcohol.
With that said, let's hear the KinoBody guide to drinking.
Yeah, that's right. So the first rule, Radu, what's the first rule?
Sticking to lower calorie drinks, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you're drinking beers and drinks mixed with cranberry juice or mixed drinks like that, you're going to be adding a bunch of calories unnecessarily. So what you actually want to do instead is stick to low calorie drinks. Like my personal favorite is like maybe some whiskey with some sparkling water or vodka and sparkling water, which you're essentially only getting calories from alcohol. You're not getting the tag-along carbs and sugars. And if you're just having like one or two drinks and you want to have like a cider or a beer or wine, that's okay. But if you're having like 3, 4, 5 drinks, then stick to the lowest calorie option, which is basically liquor with some sparkling water. And the second point, of course, kind of touches on the first one, is just drink in moderation. If you want to lead a win-win-win life and not have alcohol that kind of impairs you, then learn to drink just 2 to 5 drinks on a social outing, not beyond that. Maybe once in a blue moon you want to just let go and just drink more and test your limits, but on a regular basis, learn to just drink 2 to 5 drinks.
Yeah, besides, when you drink in moderation, your body will not become adapted to alcohol, and you'll actually get to that point where you feel the slight euphoria with fewer drinks. And
then the third point is make room for alcohol calories. So if you're going to be having 300 calories from alcohol, well, those calories, they do count. So you need to kind of work that into your nutrition program. So if your goal is to lose a pound of fat a week and you eat 2,000 calories a day and then you have 300 calories of alcohol, well, then you'd have to drop your calories down to make room for the alcohol calories. That said, I've tried just sticking to my normal diet macros and adding in like a few drinks, and it hasn't slowed down my results. But I think that's also because if I go out and drink, I'm doing a bit more walking, I'm kind of maybe dancing a bit or whatever, and so I'm getting more movement in. And again, the alcohol calories may not count for as much as they are. So I mean, if you're in a good deficit, then I would say probably just see if you can get away with just having the few drinks without adjusting your calories and macros. But you may have to drop your calories and macros to make room for alcohol. It kind of depends. Although if you're more active on your drinking days, like that might be a better option. Is like if you're going to be drinking, go for a 30-minute walk that day to make more room. Or if you're drinking and going out, then you might actually be burning quite a few calories.
Yeah, and in the Lean Vacation report, you were saying how a good strategy is to walk home from the club, because you burn a few more calories, and that works great. Works great actually, because if it happens that you all that night you walk maybe 5 kilometers, maybe 3 miles or something like that, you will basically offset 1 or 2 of those drinks.
No, exactly. So that's great. It's great if you live within walking distance of the club. And although if it's like a sketchy area and you're not safe and don't feel comfortable, then maybe just get in the cab, because I don't want you to get mugged or attacked because you wanted to burn a few extra calories.
Yeah.
But if you're with some friends maybe and it's you feel comfortable and safe, then walk or cab half the way or something. But get some walking in.
So the fourth strategy would be to avoid late night eating, and that's because, as we said, alcohol will be the first nutrient to be burned by the body, and everything you eat after that will actually be stored as fat, because if you're in a surplus, obviously, because your body will burn alcohol for energy, and everything else can be stored.
Yeah, most times if people have hit like good amount of calories and macros that day and they drank, they could just go home, lie on their bed, in 2 seconds they'll be asleep, right? But like, oh, like, so they stuff their face. They don't really need the food. You know, they don't need it. Like, oh, yeah, they're drunk and they want to eat it. It tastes good. It's like, yeah, whatever. But like, trust me, if you went to bed, if you just lied down on your bed, you'd be out like a light. Like, save the 800 calories from poutine or IHOP or pizza or like hot dogs or whatever it is, street meat. You know, save the calories.
Have you
And
ever tried shawarma?
shawarma's fantastic. That
Uh,
would be
in Romania, it's sort of a tradition to have a shawarma after you go out of the club. But I've stopped the tradition lately.
You stopped it lately, yeah. I mean, unless you make room for calories after drinking, like if you have like calories to work with after, then go for it. But it's probably not. Yeah, most people after drinking, they've already hit their meals for the day.
Yeah, because you usually drink in the night. But what if you drink during daytime?
Actually, what I've been doing for day drinking is like, because I do intermittent fasting. If I'm having drinks like kind of earlier, like midday, I'll fast. I'll just have coffee that day, and then when it's time to drink, I'll have like whatever, a few drinks, fasted, and then I'll have a big meal afterwards. I find that actually the drinking, technically you're not fasting when you're drinking, but actually I don't get that hungry, and then because I'm feeling good and like I won't eat as much for my first meal. So although I'd be careful with that strategy because I feel like a lot of people will be like, oh, fasted drinks, and they'll fucking get hammered, and then they'll like black out drunk, and they'll be like, Greg, what the hell? No, if you're having 2 or 3 drinks fasted, and you're a healthy person, and your doctor approves it. I don't know what any doctor would approve that. I'm just trying to cover my own bum. But if your doctor approves it, and you're having a couple drinks, then yeah, maybe try it, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't drink during the day.
Yeah.
Also,
Well, I don't mean like on a regular day. I'm like having day drinks.
yeah, only
You're
on
got to get
vacation.
some more shots. No, I don't drink during the day. No, that's like a party thing. That's like it's like a pool party. Oh, it's a barbecue. Have a drink. Oh, we're on vacation. Have a drink.
We should have had some drinks before doing this.
That will be our next podcast. Drinks with Greg and Radu.
Sure. I have a couple ciders in the fridge. I can just bring them.
Yeah. Although basically night drinking for you would be day drinking for me because Radu's in Romania.
Yeah, man, damn it. We can synchronize.
We-
Yeah, actually, it works better because I'll explain the part how you should save calories, and you'll talk about the other strategy.
Yeah, exactly. It's a match made in heaven. It's cohesive.
Now, before we wrap up this episode, Greg and I wanted to address a few of the reasons why people can't feel good when they go out without drinking. Understanding these reasons, we believe, is the key to drinking in moderation. And we talked about it, and the conversation got pretty deep. And there are a few very powerful ideas in this section.
This was something that I was kind of getting used to a few years ago because I was kind of in the mentality of, I wouldn't drink for a while, and then I would just go out and I'd just drink a lot and get like hungover and all that, and the hangovers are brutal. And so I wouldn't socialize that much. I just socialized when I went out and drank, and I would drink to excess. And so then I needed to kind of like step back, and after I did that for a while, I decided to go sober for a long time, and I wouldn't drink at all. And kind of going sober for a while forces you to really get out of your head and kind of stop worrying and being anxious and starting like trying to let go and have fun, which is a lot easier with alcohol. But I did that for a while, and I kind of was like, damn it, like there's got to be something better. And so I started to kind of just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go out and just have those 2 or 3 drinks. And actually, I felt like all those benefits of alcohol that we talked about, and I felt amazing. And I wasn't relying on alcohol to sort of allow me to let go, because I think a lot of times if you're drinking for the purposes of social interaction, for going out to bars, hanging with your friends, and all that, then alcohol is like a nice crutch because it gets you to let go of your inhibitions. It gets you just to kind of just let go and just have a ball. Have a ball. We're having a ball. We're drinking tequila. It's a great time. I'm Owen Wilson. But then when you kind of are able to just do that naturally, learn how to do that naturally by kind of grounding yourself in the moment, not worrying about the past, not worrying about the future, honing your attention on what is happening right here, and just letting go of any identity that you're giving yourself, letting go of any self-image, and just really not giving a shit and just being there and being present. And then all of a sudden, like, you don't need to get hammered drunk to have fun and let go. And then drink for the enjoyment of drinking, not to allow yourself to, I don't know, I'm kind of rambling. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I only wanted to add that I found that you tend to drink when you go out with close friends and you want to have fun. At least this has been my experience and my observations, because in your friends have certain expectations from you. They put you like in sort of a box. They give you certain limits, and you actually have a pretty good idea of what they expect of you. And we tend to not go outside of those limits because it disturbs the status quo of the group. Like you want to be someone who you are not. But when you
yeah, and just the fact that your friends have you in that box and expect certain behavior from you, you're way more likely to uphold that. If you're with a new set of friend groups who have no idea who you are, you're more free to kind of do what you want to do. But if you're with your old friends that have those expectations, you kind of feel like you have to uphold them.
Yeah, exactly. And alcohol gives you that freedom, because now you can do whatever you want, and just afterwards you can just say, well, I was drunk. And they will say, okay, yeah, it's acceptable for you to do those things if you are drunk, because you weren't yourself. But if you choose to do those things when you're sober, you are really weird, because you're trying to change yourself. Who are you, man? And it's really interesting. I found that when I go out with new people, I sometimes went to clubs alone just to test this. I could just act however I wanted, because I knew that those people did not know me, and they did not know how I was in everyday life. So I could do the things that I did when I was drunk without feeling embarrassed or what's the word? Weird? I don't know.
Yeah, or like judged maybe.
Yeah, judge. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. So what? So were you like a shy kid growing up?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, and so your close friend group that you've been friends with for a long time, they don't expect you to be more confident. They don't expect you to kind of be more talkative and so forth.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And well, I was lucky to get into some books and some personal development stuff when I was relatively young, and I found that liberty to allow myself to get past those limitations. But before that, alcohol was the only way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a great, it's a really good point. So that's why I actually recommend people listen to Eckhart Tolle, because it really helps ground themselves in the now and get rid of all the, the self-image and all of the ties they have about feelings of judgment and stuff like that. It just allows them to kind of express themselves congruently, just by learning how to let go of the mind and just kind of be there.
Yeah, I actually found that to work, because when you realize that in this present moment you don't have any labels on you, then you can allow yourself to do anything. And alcohol is an artificial way to do that, but it would be much better if you could learn to do that yourself.
Right. It's actually like a favorite quote of mine is by Chuck Palahniuk. It's from Fight Club, and it's what Tyler Durden says. He says, it's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything. And so what I took from that, I think the deeper meaning is that when you let go of that identity that you've given yourself, or society is put on you, when you let go of any self-image of any kind, then you're free to do anything, because you're not chained to any preconceived notion. You're not chained to being this shy person that doesn't let go and isn't assertive. You're not chained to anything. You can just allow yourself to let go. And what I think, so actually how that ties into Eckhart Tolle is when you learn to become present, you do the different drills, and you learn to observe your thoughts constantly observing your thoughts, catching yourself thinking. It's great to think and use your mind as a tool, but a lot of times we'll have repetitive thought patterns that define us, that control us. Oh, I can't do this and that. So when you learn to observe these thoughts and take away the power they have over you, we can cut ties and let go of those different identities that you've given yourself, which allows you to kind of break free of that and then kind of create the person that you want to be. Those are my thoughts. You know?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly right.
So, yeah, there's different ways to go about it, but like, what I found really useful is to like literally just for today, just for the rest of your day, try and catch the habitual thought patterns that are going around in your head, because you can catch yourself thinking. So the mind, there's the mind, there's another level, there's you, the witness of the mind. So if you catch yourself thinking, because most people get stuck in the mental pattern in like a little hamster wheel. They feel like they're in their mind. They feel like they are their mind. There's no separateness. There's no separation from that. And that's what fucks you up. But when you can separate yourself from that, and then you can actually become the person you want, because you can find out all these thoughts that are just controlling you and not enhancing your life and kind of bring negativity to your life, and you can start to pull away from them just by observing them with no attachment to them. And just kind of like the antics of a little child. Like, oh, what if right now I'm saying, oh, I'm shy, I can't talk to girls, I can't approach girls, that's weird, just as an example. Then if I just kind of observe those thoughts and just like, that's crazy, and then just start to ground myself in this moment, like right now, it's just this, just the past, the future, it's just a mind conception, it's not real. I've never lived in the past, I've never lived in the future, it's just an idea. Everything that happens right here in this moment. And so we kind of dilute that as human beings. We really fucking dilute that just by constantly thinking about the past. We use the past to tell us who we are as people. Am I shy? Do I lack social confidence? Am I a cool guy? Whatever. We create identities, whether they're good or bad. They're identities that control us and trap us. And then we look to the future to give us a chance of salvation, a chance for happiness. Okay, when I have this, when this and this happens, then my life will make sense. Then I'll be complete as a person. And it never happens because you can't live in the future. It's never been done. When the future happens, it only happens as this. So if you're telling yourself you need something to make you happy, all you're saying is, I can't be happy at all. I can't be happy in this moment. I can't be happy in the now, which is all there ever is. So learn to just observe these different thoughts and try to ground yourself in the present moment. And when you know you're truly present, a sign that you're truly present is when you just have, the thoughts kind of just fall away and you just feel like totally still. There's like stillness there. You could just be looking at a tree and you feel complete. And you could just be, you just feel a sense of gratitude in your life just from being present. Because life's fucking awesome, right? And I've allowed myself to kind of fall into that state of true presence right now, if you're listening. I don't get here all the time because I get caught up in all my stuff, so I'm not perfect. But I can literally fall into that place and it feels so good. It feels like I'm getting massaged right now from Eckhart Tolle. I'm kidding. I feel present though. So yeah, we kind of took this episode to talk about how to drink alcohol, and it kind of got a lot deeper than that. But if you guys don't want to drink and you can have a great time and go out and socialize and meet people and do that, and without drinking, then do that. From my experience, I like to have the 2 or 3 drinks. I just find it's more enjoyable, and I'm still like, I'm still fine. But yeah, if you can learn kind of this skill set of being present and all that, it's gonna fitness and your journey towards your goals to be so much more fun, because you won't have to put stuff on hold. You won't have to put dates on hold or hang with your friends on hold. You'll be able to enjoy the whole journey. And that's what I think people should think about. If they're trying to get ripped and shredded or whatever, build a great body, well, don't put your life on hold. try to improve yourself in multiple areas. Enjoy life while getting in great shape. That's what I would say. So yeah, I went on a ramble, but yeah.
Oh, that was great.
So yeah, is that everything we need to talk about?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, this has gone on for a long time. If you guys want to check out the article, go to kinobody.com/drinks. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're on YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe button and possibly share it with someone that you think would benefit from it. And if you're on iTunes, then subscribe to iTunes so you get notified every time I release a new podcast. Thanks for coming on, Radu. Thanks for listening, and take care.